Meeting is being live streamed. By staying in this meeting, consent to be live streamed. Sounds good.
Somebody created a fundraiser. Hey, I'm Bob.
Oh. Let me try it again.
Yeah. Is it live?
Yeah, we should be live
Okay, I got nothing popping up on the Facebooks.
on the Facebooks.
There we go. Share.
I'm glad I'm not the technical person because this.
There we go. All right, we are live.
Woo!
We did it.
Yeah.
Look at God.
What's up, Facebook and everybody else that's watching? We're taking a break from our normal recording of podcasts and doing Facebook Live today, and we have a special guest, Amber Lund.
Hi. Yay.
Amber.
Woo!
For those who don't know, because everybody does know Amber. For those who don't know Amber is probably one of my most favorite peer supports in the entire world.
Aww.
And she works at F5
Huge.
Project and does next. I adore you. And probably does the most next level peer support for people. Her and we have teamed up a couple times, and let me tell you a story. One time Amber calls me, and I think it was because the care coordinator or something was out of town or on break or something, and so we needed somebody to like cover and as a care coordinator to for the participants. And so I call Amber. I'm like, Amber, let's get meetings set up with all these people, and we just start running and gunning, like meeting with people and doing stuff together. So anyway, she calls me one day.
This was the first time I ever talked to you.
Not right now. Not right now. She's like, what are you talking about? This is the first time we've ever talked.
Like we just met. Like,
yeah, Amber and I prior to this hadn't really met at all or whatever. And so we got teamed up to go do some work together. And so then she calls me and she's like, or we meet up and she's like, hey, I got this guy. We got to go to his house. I need someone to come with me. Because I was like, you need to start having people come with you if you're going to go to people's houses and stuff. And so I was like, all right, I'll go with you. And so we go, and then I'm telling you, I can't tell you like the details on it, but we walked into a place.
Yeah.
And Amber, I'm like, when I walk into places, I get sketchy, and I'm like, like I'm like looking for shit to happen, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Go down. Amber sees her people, and she's just like, we need to help you. We need to love on you. We're in this place. We're pulling the people out of trap houses and shit. And I was just like, man, and she's just leads with her heart. And so that's why she's like one of my favorite, because there's not shit that scares her. She just like walks in. So I appreciate you.
That's so great. Oh my gosh. I love people that have their heart into it. Then it makes it amazing. Yeah,
this job makes my heart sing. I don't call in sick, which has never happened before. Normally you can like fake a headache or like I stubbed my toe, I can't work today, but I love this job.
So
that's awesome.
Why don't we just take a moment? Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell your story a little bit, and we'll start there. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And
you can.
15?
No, you can just take out whatever time you want, and then we'll probably ask
50.
50. We got 50 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm Amber, and I'm an addict. I used meth for 22 years. I've been clean for.
No, don't. Come on. She was getting so serious too. Like, dang, Amber. So you've listened to our podcast, so you know we have all sorts of ridiculousness. So please, just do your thing, Amber. We got you. You're loved. You are loved, Amber.
You're so
your
young.
Story. Oh my gosh.
I'm 35, so I started when I was 11, and I've been clean for 2 years.
Yay!
Yay! That feels good.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, let's get some love in the chat for Amber right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been clean this long. I'm
Tell
a
us how you
mother of
ended up starting at 11, because that's, I mean, to most people, that's like, what the fuck? But to us, it's like, oh yeah, 11, that's about right.
So yeah, I moved back and forth between my mom and my dad, and my childhood was pretty tumultuous. And everybody in my family did drugs, so it was not abnormal to do them. And when I moved to Wapaton with my mom, I started hanging out with like these 6 chicks that were like running and gunning already, and I just joined their group. So it was like I never went to school, I was like hanging out with the wrong crowd. Like sniffing Ritalin was like my drug of choice in the beginning, right? It was like that was cool
Yeah.
with the girls in the bathroom in 7th grade. And it just rapidly got out of control from there. But yeah, I have been using most of my life. I ended up in foster care after a while I got in a lot of trouble. Not like per se like with the law, because
Right.
I'm quite a good criminal, never got caught. You know what I mean?
Nice. Well played.
Hey.
Yeah. But I did the CPS ended up catching on to like all the things because my mom was reporting me as a runaway all the time. And yeah, but I got put in foster care, and my foster parents are amazing and wonderful, and
Yeah.
I still call them mom and dad to this day. My mother actually passed away from pancreatic cancer
Oh, sorry to
like
hear.
6 or 7 years ago. So yeah, but I don't know how much I'm supposed to say on here, so I'm being weird.
I'll just ask you questions
Okay.
if I
Yeah,
can.
Yeah.
we got. We'll fire
Yeah.
out
I
questions.
love
Good
stories.
question.
I love stories. Okay, so your parents were divorced or never married or whatever.
Never married.
Do you have siblings?
12.
Mother, what?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're fertile. Is it
Well,
like,
the
well, 'cause
older ones, like Crystal and Ashley are like have the same dad with my mom. And then Megan, Justin, and Patricia have the same dad with my mom. And then me and Caleb have the same mom and dad. And then Anna, Beth, Bob, Leah, Liz, and John have the same dad and a different mom.
Okay, that's kind of like my husband went into foster care and he's got, 13 siblings, but they're all from like, mom's, dad's foster, whatever.
That's not including my foster siblings.
Dang, how's
Yeah.
Christmas? Big?
Yeah. Well, me and my brother do it together because my brother is clean. He's been
Nice.
clean for 4 years.
Yay.
Yeah.
And he's got 4 children, and I'm super proud of him. We are on this road together, which is beautiful and amazing, and we love and support each other. He's in
Isn't that
business
cool?
management school and like shooting for the stars right now, and he's got a wife and 4 children and has his own home, and
Oh, that's awesome. My brother's
yeah,
too. I love it.
all the things you dream of for your baby brother.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
So at 11 you moved to Wapaton. Were these girls you were hanging out with older than you?
No, same age.
So 11-year-old girls would run away and like go to trap houses and do meth, and like how'd you get
Yeah.
hooked up with that crew instead of like the Barbies?
Well, I lost my virginity to like a I don't know, he's probably 21-year-old Mexican. And like so we were all like way older than our times, right? And we
Yeah.
were running around with people who were way older than us.
Yeah.
Way, way older.
But was your mom chemically dependent too?
My mom and my stepdad were drug dealers, so they weren't paying attention.
did on some level they cared if they called you in missing all the time? Or was that
Yeah.
just because they knew that legally they had to find you?
No, my mom's always been super protective of me, but I just ran my own show.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be hard to be. It's hard to be sick and be a mom. You just like it's hard to juggle that. But
Yeah.
so you didn't go to school? Did you finish school or?
Yeah. I went to foster care and I had to go back to school. That was like mandatory,
Yeah.
apparently. You got to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Weird
so
how that works.
I graduated when I was 20 years old. I had an 18-month-old son on my hip and I was pregnant with my daughter.
Oh,
But I
that
did it.
well done. That's a hell of a thing. Yeah. Do you still have your kids with you?
Yep, I have two of my sons with me, and then the other three children. The oldest two live with their dad in Lisbon, and then
Yeah.
my youngest lives with his dad in Pelican.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So 3 boys and 2 girls, or?
4 boys, 1 girl.
Oh, I love boys.
Yeah, my boys are beasts, dude. They're all like sports oriented,
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
Thought I'd pop back in since we're talking about boys.
Yeah. What's up with your boys, Adam?
They're my kid, they're doing fantastic. So Nick is he's going to school and working, and he's got a girlfriend, lives with her. Brecken's playing, I think he's currently playing soccer, like indoor soccer or whatever. And then he started football this year, and overall doing awesome, spending a lot of time with me on the weekends. And then he's coming over tonight and stay with us till Friday, and we're all going to see my family for Thanksgiving or whatever, me, him, and baby. So
Yeah.
and baby and Gat are just amazing all the time. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Gat's really developing his like manners, and he's like saying thank you and please and like giving hugs and stuff. And it's just like my dad would have been like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Don't do
So,
that.
No, I'm really super grateful. I took a cue from Kirsten's husband, Matt, because when I went over there for dinner with Ricky and Christy and everybody, we went over there, and I was watching Matt like be a dad, and he was constantly like having physical touch with like the kids.
Yeah.
Like just out of nowhere, he would just like run, his hand through their hair or something like that, or like, like pat their back or scratch their back or hold them, just like out of random, like, yeah, just like he'd just walk up to him and just start like holding him. And I was just like, man, that's like, at first I was like, that's weird. Like, because I'm so used to my dad just not, doing that. And so ever since I saw that, I started doing that with the kids. And well, I mean, not my older, like they know Adam back in the day. So it's just like, it would be really weird for me to walk up to Nick, who's 24, and be like, hey, hi. He'd probably be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But my kids are responding well to it. So mad props to Matt for leading by example.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Matt's had that issue with me too, but different. Just kidding. No, I mean not, but yeah. Anyway. So how did you end up like, so what was the end of your using like, and then how'd you end up in recovery? And how in the world did you end up with Adam?
This is a long story here.
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah.
Okay, so for a long time, CPS was trying to catch me. I used through my last 3 pregnancies all the time. And so when my kids were, De Niro was not going to school, CPS kept coming and coming, and I'd be like, get off my porch, I don't have to open the door for you. And then this lady was like persistent.
Yeah.
And so I put all of our stuff in like black plastic bags and put the rest of the stuff on the curb for free. And we just started staying in homeless shelters all over the place. So CPS couldn't find us because of HIPAA law or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they're never going to find me. And I actually ended up getting in trouble at a church in Brainerd for using in the bathroom. And so they kicked me out, and my dad told me that I could come back to his house and stay there, and that was in Detroit Lakes. And I went back, and it was summertime. It was 7/7/17 at 6:30 at night on a Monday night. My kids were in the swimming pool, and I was like tanning next to the pool. And all of a sudden, all these cops started coming from everywhere with their guns drawn. And they were like, Amber Lund, we have a warrant to apprehend your children. And yeah, my kids ended up getting taken that day. And they, like, I was trying to call everybody, and nobody that I knew could pass a UA.
Yeah.
So nobody could take them. So they ended up leaving, and I flushed all my drugs and smashed my pipes and laid in bed for 3 days crying. And on Wednesday, I went to social services, and I was like, where's my kids? How do I get them back? And they told me I had to do a parenting assessment, a mental health assessment. I had to go to inpatient treatment. I had to do outpatient treatment. I had to get a place of my own, have a regular job. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, how do I do that?
Yeah.
And I told the lady, like, during this process, I was like, I want you to take your 5 kids and go live under a bridge and live my life, and then tell me that I just am supposed to know how to live yours.
Right. Yeah. I know.
Because I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was just like, this, and this, like it was like regular, which it probably is to other people, but it wasn't regular to me. I was like,
Right.
I don't, like in my life, I've been a CNA when I was 15, and like I've lived like a normal life with my foster parents and did like all the different things.
Sure.
But it wasn't like I was just gonna know how to be an adult and a successful one at that.
Right.
To this day, I still don't have a bank account.
Yeah.
That's due to different reasons. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that
wrote a bunch of bad checks and all that stuff, but
This is getting your fist up.
yeah. Go ahead.
I was like, that's fine. You can get all into it, Amber. It's all good.
I don't remember what the original question was. Oh yeah, how did I stop using? Yeah, and so I was able to. I ended up going to Northland Recovery, going to high and low intensity, graduating, coming back, working at McDonald's for 12 months, got an apartment, ended up like getting visits with my kids, and then I got them back. And on December 18th, 2018, the judge closed the case. And that day I had a pizzle in my hand and I was getting high again. And so for 4 months again, I was using, and I like had this eerie feeling that CPS was going to catch me. And so I called my social worker, and I'm like, hey, look, I relapsed. I just need a reboot. Like, I just need the chance to not get high again. And so I went to Share House for 30 days and finished that, graduated, came home, was sober for about 2 weeks, got high again. And then I was just like, whatever, man, I can't do it. It's just not going to happen for me. So I just kept getting high. And then one day, around September, I would say September 4th, somewhere in there, my 7-year-old son, every time. My 7-year-old son asked me, Mom, how come you don't like me anymore?
Oh.
And that was crazy, because I was like, I love you, my baby, know? And so I took a bunch of Seroquel 100s and tried to kill myself. And one of my friends ended up finding me and brought me to their house. And when I woke up, she was like, you're either going to treatment or the psych ward, pick one. Yeah. And so I went to Share House obviously I chose treatment, Yeah. I went to Share House to do an assessment, and like by the grace of God, they had an opening. And so September 7th, 2021, I checked in. And I did 5 days of inpatient treatment. And I was like, okay, I got this, you know,
Yeah.
like that was enough, you know.
Yeah.
And so they transferred me from inpatient to outpatient so I could go home and be with my children. I got because my social worker got me a special circumstances voucher and had moved me to Moorhead. I skipped some pieces here. There's like other things that happened, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And so we were living in Moorhead, and I did 6 months of outpatient treatment, and I just kept going to NA on a regular basis. I was like superwoman in the beginning of my recovery. I was like, God ran me on gas and faith. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
gotta be. You gotta be.
Yeah, I did 114 meetings in the first 90 days, and I loved NA so much that I just kept going and kept going and kept going. might have been a little bit addicted to NA.
Yeah, which is better than the other one.
Yeah, but it was crazy because when I first came in, I was like bald headed and like I wore wigs and like coochie cutters and like, you know, I wanted all the attention, you know.
Do you have any pictures? Because that'd be awesome. You
Yeah.
could send them to me
Yeah.
after.
You gotta
Just go on my Facebook and you just scroll back and you'll see the progression there.
Okay, awesome. Now I have something to do today.
I've had a bald head for 11 years and this is my real hair.
No kidding.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is a coochie cutter?
Oh my
You know,
god.
shorts that ride right up your coochie.
Oh my god.
Right. Like you just gotta get really in there, Adam.
What else could it have been? Oh my god. It's like the camel towing company.
Yes.
Yeah, this is. I'm sure everybody this is like we missed this about Facebook
I feel like
Live.
I'm the
Yeah,
only person who didn't know what it was, and everyone's laughing at me right now.
That's usually my job.
There's a lot of people who probably didn't know that, Adam. So thank you for clarifying for the
You're
ones
welcome.
who are too embarrassed to ask. You know,
You're welcome.
you did that.
Yeah.
So Amber, now the second half of that question was how did you get involved with F5 and with Adam Martin?
Oh, so I was in school to be a construction management major before all of the shenanigans popped off and when I tried to kill myself. And I ended up smoking up my check and getting expelled from school. And so like all of these people, since I was in treatment, all I did was give people rides. And I didn't have a job. I didn't God literally provided gas in my car. Okay, I never once have ran out of gas to this day, but I'm constantly giving people rides to meetings and picking up people from treatment, and I was like so crazy about it. And oh yeah, okay. And so every time I would be doing all these things, everybody's like, you should be a peer support. You should be a peer support. I didn't even know what a peer support was. Okay. And then people started sending me the link to be a peer support. And me and Brendan were driving down to the Omaha NA convention, and he's like, has his computer on his lap, and he's like, I'm registering to be a peer support. It just opened. And he's like typing my application as he's typing his application, like sends it out. And it was like, bing, bing, you're both accepted to become peer supports. And then Adam's Christy, our Christy.
I love Christy.
Get that right. Yeah. Okay. So she was my trainer, and I started my peer support journey at a different company. And my mother ended up having a heart attack this year, and I got let go from my job. And I wasn't looking for a job. I was trying to take care of my mother. And Scott College calls me and he's like, hey, so I got this opening over here looking to get you in. I'm like, who?
Probation.
Yeah, that's old Kathy Benjamin playing the fiddle in the background, just like telling people that I want the job. And I love she made my resume for me, submitted it.
That's awesome.
And she hyped you up too, by the way.
Yeah.
Like we knew about you long before you even knew about us. Like we were like, oh, this got this girl Amber, she's about to come through, about to change the game. Literally, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, and who is this? Like just all these things. It was great. And then you show up and I was like, oh, it all just clicked and everything everything positive that she and so many people, while we were like interviewing and doing all the things before you started, like everything was exactly accurate. And I appreciate that like you have just come in and just done all the like the amazing things for F5 and just continue to like just grow. And so when Adam was like, "Oh, Amber's coming," I was like, "Oh, okay." And I thought for sure it was like next week. I was like, but then I was like, "Oh wait, no, this is Adam." So he probably just sprung this on you yesterday and was like, "Yeah, you should be on our podcast tomorrow." And
This morning?
that's what you do. Oh,
I was in the bathtub last night. He's like, "You be at the housing hub 8 a.m.?" Yep. And then I'm like, "What are we doing, boss?"
Yeah. What did I
But
sign
that
up
is-
for?
yeah, but that is Amber though. Like she just shows up and then asks questions later. Like she just will just find her way, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna be of help and of service and whatever I need to do." And like that has shown time and time again with our participants and with our staff and with everybody else. So it's just really cool to see.
And I love how honest you are and how like it's so obvious that this is in your guts, you know what I mean? And it's a great example of like a lot of people say, well, if you loved your kids, you'd get sober. It's not, it's an illness. You don't pick it, you know what I mean? It's like I'd breathe for them, but I can't hold my shit together to do it, you know? So it's hard to explain to someone who sees us use and then is like, well, didn't you just pick to get high? You know, it's like it felt like it was picked for me. I didn't, you know. And they're like, you had everything going for you. But that's, oh my gosh, how many times I build my life up just to burn it down right at the very end. But
I
anyway,
usually
so
just
I
say,
love
did you pick to just wake up and be an asshole today?
it. Because that
I
choice
don't-
is poor.
It's super hard for people to understand that like we're not picking drugs over kids or whatever. We're like, it's for us like deep down, it's like we're picking like to feel better so that I don't off myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
That's
because
the
I
truth.
have this little voice in my head that's telling me that I shouldn't be a dad. Like
Yeah.
I'm not worthless dad. I'm a piece of
Mhm.
shit. And the only thing to get to shut that off is to use, you know. So it's like now I pick my kids. I pick like I had to get to a point where I could.
Yeah. And I have to put my recovery before my kids. I have to, or I won't be a mom. And I love that, like, you got sober a lot, but sober and recovery are two very different things. You know what I mean? Otherwise, detox centers would pump out winners, but they just doesn't work like that. You sobering up is so different than recovery. It's like you have to do the footwork for recovery.
Yeah. Very similar to the
Amber,
things that you got to do to get your kids back. You got to go to treatment, you got to do the eval, like, and then you transition. And now it's like, I got to get a sponsor, I got to go to meetings, I got to be a service, I got to do, you know, whatever. But, you know, I think the one part that people forget, like, I guess it's more in our book than it is in the other book, but is that we practice these principles in all our affairs, like our employers, you know, all
That's
that.
in our damn book.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I suppose it is because you took our book and copy
They get to
pasted
skip it.
oh my
Jazzed
gosh.
it up.
jazzed it up, modernized it, I guess. So
Yeah, so Amber, you had talked a little bit, just kind of shared about, that kind of conversation that you had with your son. So obviously with Thanksgiving being tomorrow, there's obviously a lot of people going to spend a lot of time with family and other things. What are some things like some just words that you could just share with those who are maybe like aren't in recovery yet, who are going to be around their family, but have like with their kids, or maybe some different things that you can kind of share some encouragement that you can give to some people who maybe might be struggling around this time, especially when it comes to them and their children?
Okay, so there's this thing that I tell women who don't have their children, or men who don't have their children right now. And it's like, because I've been away, I've been in treatment for Thanksgiving, I've been in treatment for Christmas, and I literally had to take that time to get better to be the mom that they needed for the rest of their life. Like I might not be there now,
Right.
but I'm gonna be there later. And like, who's the mom that they want? Do they want me to stay with them sick, or do they want me to go away for a little while so I can be the best mom that I can be for the rest of their life?
That's good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great.
My son turns 17 tomorrow. I just want you guys to know that
Yay.
17 years ago, I didn't get Thanksgiving because I was pushing out a baby.
Oof, that's rough.
Yeah. It was rugged.
Yeah.
My little turkey baby.
Turkey baby.
Yeah, but I'm pumped up about that. This baby is going to be graduating next year, and he has perfect attendance and straight A's, and he's in football, basketball, wrestling, weightlifting, track. He's
Aw.
applying to colleges, and like I didn't do so bad, dude. My 4 boys are like ripping, roaring sports, like doing awesome. You know, the things
Of course
that
you
they've been
didn't.
through, and it's
Yeah.
crazy though
You
that
didn't
like
do bad ever. You did
the chain of events. Like my mom grew up in a boarding school, right? So
Yeah.
I was like stripped of all of our culture and all these things.
Yeah.
And then like I was a crazy drug addict, and like my kids they go to NA meetings just as much as I do.
Yeah.
They like love their lives. They're doing all the things. They forgave me. They think I'm the best mom in the world. Knox told me
Aw.
last night, he said, even if I could wish or dream up a different mom, it would just be you.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, that's worth
So
Yeah.
it's like,
gold.
What's he want?
yeah.
Who cares? I'll give it.
That's
It's
what you go
almost
to.
Christmas time.
Kirsten's like, oh, that's so lovely.
Yeah, I'd
Adam's like,
totally
"No,
give him
he's-
whatever he wanted.
Yep. Adam was like, nah, he's trying to get something out of you.
Yeah.
He just got accepted to play in the US Bank Stadium.
That's cool.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yeah, dude. He's like one of 100 kids or whatever that's gonna go down there and show off his skills on a national level.
For football?
Yeah, he's 10 years old. He's gonna just remember Knox
Damn.
Buckley later on in life when he's on the NFL, you know, he'll be like,
Yeah.
you'll be like, yep, that's Amber's
We
kid.
talked
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
kid. That's what I'll
We
say.
talked about that kid
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah, he used to run into me at the office and like try and push me over.
Ah, is he a lineman?
Yeah, my sons are big. Boy.
He is the line.
Yeah.
Good. That's awesome. Oh, I love boys.
Mhm.
So if there was you said you used meth for 22 years. Damn,
How long did you use for?
You would get sensitive
lot.
about that. Well, I used for a long time. But if you could go back to the time, we'll end it with this. Like I always I like to do like these hypothetical questions.
Mhm.
If you could go back to the moment when Amber was gonna get high for the first time, and you are who you are right now, what would you say to her?
I would tell her that I loved her and we're gonna have a wild ride, girl.
Yeah. Light it up. This ends well.
We're gonna come out just beautiful and thriving, and you're gonna be okay, my love.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
wouldn't give all that up.
No.
I love me.
Yeah.
I'm awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mhm.
Yeah, you are.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
so weird that now I can look at myself naked in the mirror and think that I'm like just gorgeous. And when I was like skin with big boobs and long hair and like all cracked out, I thought that I was like, oh my God, like pinching this much skin on my belly, like, and she ain't a lady if she ain't 280.
Oh.
And I'm 282, just for the record.
I love like that because even the majority of people aren't like that. Like they don't look in the mirror and think, beautiful. I look in the mirror and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
Oh.
Like, oh, shit's changed.
When I was 20s and I had a 6-pack and I was like just starting to get a little bit of hair, like I was just like, my mugshots even look great.
Mm.
And then
Have you seen my mugshot?
Yeah. And then I got sober and I was just like that first year put on that freshman 15 and then freshman 30. And then it was like just kept senior, 250.
I
just
did
kept going.
like a fresh 100 right in the first 60 days.
Yeah, you probably needed that desperately.
Yeah. Food went in your body and your body was probably like, wow,
I know.
I'll keep this just in case she goes back.
We're hibernating.
Saving it for later.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, usually it's like I'll sleep with you on the first date, but you're not gonna see me in a swimsuit ever. You know.
Yeah, no
So
shit.
I wear a bikini. This body is voluptuous.
What did you
Mhm.
say? 280 what?
You ain't a lady if you ain't 280.
You ain't
I put
a
it in the
lady.
I put it in the Facebook comments
Yeah,
because that was
even
great.
that-
Oh, you did
Great.
already? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
uh
yeah,
That's
because
gonna be
the
the
guy
quote of the year. I'm gonna get a picture of you and I'm gonna put that on there.
Mhm.
Quote. I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt.
Okay.
oh, I love that. Makes
I'll
me
stand
jealous.
naked for the picture.
No.
Ah.
Dude, yesterday we're at the
Christy is
Ridges
watching.
open house, and I'm like, I need a t-shirt, right? And so
Yeah.
Amanda gives me a t-shirt, and I come on the hallway, and Adam's like, "You got one?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Put it on," and I'm like, going to empty my pocket. He's like, "Not right here." I told Stefan, I was like, Adam knows me.
Yeah.
He knows I would have changed right there in the hallway.
Mhm. Yeah, they just keep it real all the time.
Oh, that's good. What is it going to be shocking? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I appreciate. I mean, that's one thing have been able to witness, like Amber speaking so much like life and just like body positivity to so many
Yeah.
of our just like female employees and coworkers and different people. Like it's we need more of that. And so Amber, obviously we're appreciative of you for being on the show and obviously thankful for your recovery. But I'm just certainly glad to just have like that body positivity because we just need more of that just in our lives. Because there's something you're not gonna like about your body, and if you like everything about yourself, then you need to be more like Amber. That's basically it. Like everyone needs to be more like you and
Aw.
just love themselves as much as you love yourself.
You're so sweet to me.
Of course, I love
does
you,
he want?
Amber.
I don't know if you've ever like looked at the pictures of our staff though, but like I don't know if we were hired by design, but everybody's very good looking.
Yeah, for
Like,
real.
it's a beautiful cast of people. So like
That's
just
one of
walking
Adam's
around there, I'm like,
glitches.
oh, hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Aw. And I would much rather hang out with somebody that's confident with a good sense of humor that is like an arrogant douchebag. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm an invasive species. When people's doors are closed, I'm like, but let me in.
Yeah. Good. I would let you in.
But she does the lip, so then you can't be mad. Like,
Yeah.
but let me.
Oh my god.
You should
Oh,
come
You
to
put a
my
sign
I
house.
on you.
love you.
You put a sign on your door stating not to come in because it messes with your vibe, and I'm like, good morning.
Yeah, good. That's a challenge.
Let me come in here and fill off your first 3 hours. You know?
You're welcome.
Oh, they're lucky
Yeah.
to have you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, we have a few more minutes left on the show. So Amber, is there anything else that we didn't cover? Anything else you want to kind of share and talk about before we get
Any
out of here?
last minute thoughts?
All the things that I would tell somebody is that everybody needs somebody sometimes. And I
Yeah.
prefer to be that somebody. But that I believe in you and I love you and you can do it. And if you need me, call me. I leave my ringer on 24/7. No boundaries. Just kidding. I just got in trouble for that. So
Could have
that's why
already
You
I
didn't get
needed
in
to.
trouble. I just said that I worry
Oh,
about
You're
you.
safe.
okay. I wasn't in trouble.
No.
I was just.
Concerned friend.
But he said that he didn't get burnt out for 6 years, so I got a good like 4 left.
Yeah, you'll probably make it longer.
That is not 100. I mean, I was on vapor
You
for a
don't have to
long
get so
time.
defensive. I didn't even say that you said it to me.
Yes, you did.
No, I said
You
I
said
No,
got
she
in
just-
trouble, and you're like, no, you didn't.
And then you just jumped in, and I was like, oh, now we know who
Yeah.
it came from.
There's a button. Yeah.
You did it. No, I'm just
I'm gonna tell you what, like, if people who don't know, there's a lot of women that work at F5, and they, like, Amber and Kathy, like, all just I'm walking all over the place, and I'm just gonna do whatever I want. I ain't gonna ask for permission, and then I have to be like, Amber, I love you.
proceed
Just
until
like you, Adam.
apprehended.
What did you say?
proceed until apprehended.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just out here trying to do God's work, trying to save one person at a time.
Mhm. I believe you
Hmm
100%.
Oh, you make me happy. You give me hope in the future.
Oh, I love you. You're so beautiful.
You know, you should come over for dick cookies. I usually make them for Christmas and stuff.
Okay, let's make some dick cookies.
Sweet.
They're really good. She has
And then
this
you
like
can hand them out
perfect
and
like
say, "Eat a
vanilla
dick."
cream on the top.
Yes, dude. Can we do that?
Yeah,
Call
come
me.
over for real. Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have
Kirsten
doctors
makes-
either, so don't knock. Just walk in. That's my rule.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
You two are two
Mhm.
peas in a pod.
That's my lady right there.
That's your.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
your-
more than you know. Once you guys start hanging out, you're gonna realize like just how connected you guys both are.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Amber's
perfect.
gonna move in
You're
with her
perfect
kids.
then.
I'll move in with my kids.
Shit, we got room.
You wouldn't even know it's different. They got so many goddamn kids over there too.
Just Matt comes in the room.
Matt would be double momming. That would
Yeah.
be.
Matt
I've
would
been
be on-
looking. Haven't I been looking?
Maybe you could take some of my chores off my hands.
Yeah, I was like, I just need a husband and a wife to marry me, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just I'll be good. I'll do all the things.
Well, we're single, I
I'll be
guess.
good.
All right, Ricky. Before we start a Mormon colonization,
Yes. We want to thank our sponsors, F5 Project and the Ridge Recovery and Treatment Center, for sponsoring this podcast. Thank you, Amber, significantly for coming on to the show today. We appreciate you and just the joy and the light and just, just being all around illustrious. I love you so much and just thankful for you. And well, of course, I want to thank my co-hosts, Kirsten Hubin and Adam Martin, for being on the show, for just continuing to do this. I don't even know how many episodes we've done of this podcast so far, but it's just been amazing. And so I'm just really, really glad that we're able to continue to do this. If you're watching, please subscribe to our podcast. You can catch us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, just all the things. Just we'd love to be able to stay connected and hopefully you got something to be able to help you live one more day in recovery. So thank you all so much. Appreciate
I love you, Ricky.
Love you too.
I gotta go eat some cookies and get to 280.
Yes. I can help you. I can help you
I'm
get
down.
there.
Yeah.
all right, guys, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes.
Love you.
Yeah.
Love
Bye.
y'all. Bye.